my name's Katie. Today I wanted to show you the books that I'm hoping to get read in the month of April. Having a really good day. I unexpectedly got the day off of work for a snow day, so I am just lounging around in my PJs all day long and getting a lot of cleaning done and reading a lot of books. So yes, I wanted to share the books that I'm going to read. I have not read since I think the second or third week of January. I got really busy with life and then I went into a reading slump, I think from this book that I was reading called Mechanical Failure. It was just rambling on and on and on. I think I got about halfway through it and like nothing had happened. So I haven't read in 2.5 months, so I'm finally feeling back in the mood to read, so I'm pretty excited. So yes, let me jump right in. The first book I have is 2001: A Space Odyssey. And this is by Arthur C. Clarke. This edition is actually from the Penguin Galaxy series, and they did it has 6 books in the series, and they're sci-fi and fantasy masterworks. It's a really nice bind up of it. It's just a nice cover. I don't know if you can kind of see the writing glimmers, but it's very nice. The book, however, I'm really excited about. I started reading it. I'm about 30 pages in. But it's kind of a response to the question of why haven't we met intelligent life yet when we ourselves are about to venture into space? Because there are billions of other solar systems out there. There's got to be intelligent life. How come we haven't run into it yet? So in this book, Arthur Clarke takes, he starts out as humankind was sparked by an alien obelisk that came down to Earth and kind of sparked human rational thought, and so it goes from there, and apparently I guess another obelisk comes down kind of in current history, if you will, and then goes from there. So I'm really liking it so far. It's definitely a unique take. I'm looking forward to finishing it, and it's pretty short too. It's only like 226 pages, so really looking forward to this one. So that's the first one, and then the next one I have, or the next two I have, are the second and third books in the Wondla trilogy by DiTerlizzi. So the first book is A Hero for Wondla, and then the next book is The Battle for Wondla. And these I think are middle grade books, and it's really cool because they're illustrated, and the illustrations are gorgeous. Like such. And the first book follows Ava 9, who is raised underground by a robot called Mother, and then she's suddenly forced out of her home at the age of 12 by a huntsman, and then she goes to the surface, and it's like an alien world that she's never was taught about or have like even imagined, and so she goes on a quest to find other people like her, because it's all these alien species all over, things she's never heard of or learned about. So it's a really cool series, and I'm excited to finally finish it. I think I read the first book like 6 months ago, so I don't know why it's taking me so long to get to it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. These should be a quick, fun read. Nextly, I have The Vagrant by Peter Newman, and this is the first in a trilogy. I've also started this one as well, and I'm really excited about it because the protagonist, the vagrant, doesn't speak once throughout the book, so I think that's going to make for some really interesting writing, and I hope it's done really well. But this follows the vagrant, and he carries a bag, a sword, and a baby, and he's headed to the Shining City, which is the last bastion of humanity in this world. And it's cool because it's kind of sci-fi and fantasy, because you've got the fantasy, like he's carrying a sword, there's knights and magic, but there's also like spaceships and things like that, and there's also demons, so it seems like a really cool blend. But he's headed to the Shining City to deliver a weapon that might change the tide of war, so this should be a good one. I hope it is. I want it to live up to expectations. The next one I have is the first in a 5-book series called The Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. So in the front flap, he's compared to fantasy masters Brandon Sanderson, Scott Lynch, and J.R. Tolkien. Those are some heavy hitters in the fantasy world, so he better live up to it, but this again sounds really good. It's interesting, I was reading the introduction that he's written in here, and he has already written all 5 books, and I guess that's his method. He was saying he writes all of the books in a series that he's going to publish, and then he goes to a publishing house to get it published. So, pretty neat stuff. But this is about humankind has always worshipped the Frey, and then suddenly one of the Frey is killed by a human weapon. So it follows 3 characters, Wraith, Suri, and Persephone, and they stand between humankind and annihilation. So hopefully it goes well, because there's 4 more books in the series, and this cover is beautiful as well. Really liking it. Totally my vibe. And then, so sad. The next book I have is Paper Princess by Erin Watt, and this is the first in a 5-book series as well. I kind of get a Princess Diaries kind of vibe from it. It follows Ella Harper, and she is trying to climb out of the gutter, and then one day her mother dies and she's alone, and she's plucked out of obscurity and poverty by Callum Royal and thrown into his posh mansion among his 5 sons who all hate her. And then each royal boy is more magnetic than the last, but not as captivating as Reed Royal, the boy who's determined to send her back to the slums she came from. So this sounds like a really fun YA romance, and I'm excited to read this one and just enjoy the romance, all that good stuff. So looking forward to that. And I'm assuming since there's 5 sons and there's 5 books, it'll probably be a romance between each one, so that should be good. And the last book I have, I actually bought it on my Kindle. I'm trying to use my Kindle more. I'm about to go on a month-long trip where I can't really take much with me, and so my Kindle's the best thing, so I'm trying to slowly start using it. So yeah, so the last one I have is The Bird and the Sword by Amy Harmon. I'll read you the description. It's kind of vague, so I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'll read it to you. So it says, "The day my mother was killed, she told my father I wouldn't speak again, and she told him if I died, he would die too. Then she predicted the king would sell his soul and lose his son to the sky. My father has a claim to the throne, and he is waiting in the shadows for all of my mother's words to come to pass. He wants desperately to be king, and I just want to be free. But freedom will require escape, and I'm a prisoner of my mother's curse and my father's greed. I can't speak or make a sound, and I can't wield a sword or beguile a king. In a land purged of enchantment, love might be the only magic left, and who could ever love a bird?" So yeah, it seems kind of vague, but it seems like a good YA fantasy. I actually heard about it from Phantom Rin on Instagram, and she did some of the artwork for one of Sarah J. Maas's books, and so she did a piece of art about it, and it sounded really good, so that's how I heard about the book. So yeah, I don't want to know too much more about it because it sounds good, and I just want to jump in and have some fun. So yes, I have quite a few books, but they're mostly either YA or they're pretty short or large print, so I think I should be able to accomplish my goals this month instead of doing the January disaster that I had. But yeah, let me know what you're reading and what you thought. Also, let me know if you want to see the books that I got from January through March. I pulled them all off my shelf, and I realized, like, there's a ridiculous amount of books that I bought. So I was kind of like, ugh, I don't know. But yeah, let me know if you want to see that. And I hope you are enjoying your day and have a good one. Bye. Thanks for watching.